What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the MIgardener channel. You caught me at a super good time because I'm actually out here saving my oregano seed. It's kind of one of the last big chores that I have before I clean up the entire garden is I do any final seed saving that I have to do. So that might be my oregano, which I am doing right now. I still have all of my dragon's tongue arugula. I have my okra that I'm saving seeds from, the last of the tomatoes, any peppers, all of my basil, and my beans. So I still have quite a bit of seed saving left to do. Oh, and lavender as well. So I'm out here just doing a bunch of seed saving, and I figured I'd bring you guys along just to talk about seed saving, talk about some stuff that I haven't really touched on before, and also answer some questions on seed saving that you guys have asked throughout the years. One of those being there's a lot kind of in the same thread, which is like, do you save seeds? Yes. Why do you save seeds? I'll get into. Should I be saving seeds? Yes, you should. I'll get into that as well. And then also, how do I save seeds? And that question I'm going to answer right now because that question really can't be answered easily in one episode. It just would be an hour-long series, and you guys wouldn't want to watch an hour-long video. So what I recommend doing is going back and checking out our playlist on seed saving. We have a whole playlist on how to save seeds. It's several dozen, I think it's 20 videos, 25 videos in that series on how to save seeds. And we're constantly going to be updating that as well. We're going to be adding more to that list as we go. But I recommend checking that out because it'll show you video by video how to save a specific variety of seed, because tomatoes are far different than okra, and okra is far different than melons, and melons are far different than oregano. So I just recommend checking those videos out, and that's really going to help you out figure out how to save seeds of a specific variety. But I did want to touch on, while I do this, can't get too distracted because I got a bunch of seeds to save here. I did want to touch on, why do I save seeds? So if you don't mind, I'm going to get to this, and then we'll just kind of roll the video in real time. All right, I got to get this done. So a lot of people ask me, Luke, why do you save seeds? Nowadays, it's just so easy just to go to my local big box store or to MIgardener.com, shameless plug there, and buy some seeds. We have a seed shop. So why should I be saving my seeds if I can just go just about anywhere and purchase seed? And the answer is because I want you guys to learn the essential skill of seed saving. Not because you can't go get seed, because you can. But I always say, that is a luxury for today. Tomorrow is unknown. You never know what tomorrow brings. You never know what might happen to that variety. Prime example is I like to go back to about 3 years ago. There was a really big scare that happened with Mizuna Red Streaks mustard. Now, it might not be as a big scare to you, but Mizuna Red Streaks mustard is actually a mainstay for many restaurants using them as garnishes. A lot of spring mixes require Mizuna Red Streaks mustard to add texture and flavor. And also, just culinary use in general, a lot of gardeners like Mizuna Red Streaks mustard. There's actually a worldwide shortage because there's only a few people that grow the seed commercially, and that seed, or those growers actually had a crop failure. They lost almost all of the seed stock for the entire world supply of Mizuna Red Streaks mustard. And all that was left were a few home gardeners, a few thousand home gardeners probably, anyone that was into saving seeds on a small scale. And then there was a few other seed suppliers that carried them and had some left on hand. And it was about a 3-year process rebuilding that variety back up to where it could be commercially available again. Every store had it sold out. Nobody had it. Even MIgardener.com didn't have it for a whole year because even us, we grow our own seed for that variety solely for the fact that if something ever happens again, we have it. And we know we have it, and we know we have the genetics that's going to be true to type to a Mizuna Red Streaks mustard. That's very important to us because it's seed security. You never know what's going to happen. You might take for granted, this oregano variety. What happens if something starts wiping out all of the oregano crops, and you have no way to grow oregano again? What are you going to do? You have no way to have security because you're relying on somebody else. And that's why I always say, we buy seeds every year. There's not a year we've not bought seeds because we don't grow all the seeds we save and then just grow those varieties. Yes, we do to some, but not all of them. And so it's very important to learn the skill of seed saving because it just teaches you self-reliance. And I'm not talking in the prepper scale. I'm not talking like, doomsday scale. I'm simply talking on a realistic level. We had a shortage in our lifetime of a seed that you could not, if you wanted to pay $1,000 to someone, you couldn't get your hands on the seed. It just wasn't there. And if it wasn't for a few diligent people that took the time to save their seeds and said, you know what, even though this is commercially available, even though this is a widely spread seed, I can pretty much throw a stone in any direction and find the seed, I'm going to save my seed anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. Because of those people, we still have Mizuna Red Streaks mustard. Thank goodness. Now you guys might be wondering, the next question I always get asked is, Luke, how much seed do you save? When do you know enough is enough? And so as I'm here just clipping, each individual flower head here, the question is arising, Luke, there's no way you need that much oregano seed. Why are you saving so much? Each one of these little seed heads represents a couple hundred seeds. This is valuable to me because I can actually save these. I can give them away to people that might need the seeds at a later time. I can put these seeds in cold storage for a worst case scenario situation where something might happen to this variety. I have these seeds in cold storage. I might take them to a seed swap. I might give them away. Heck, I might even sell them. But the fact of the matter is I have them right here. And so to not take advantage of that and save the seeds, that's, in my opinion, that's, it's just foolish not to. They're right here, they're ready to go. Now, a lot of people ask me, Luke, what's the hardest seed to save? And that's kind of based on, personal opinion. I personally find small seeds like oregano to be some of the hardest seeds to save. And that's just based on, once you start saving seeds, you'll notice there are some that are really easy. I find tomatoes to be probably some of the easiest seeds to save. When it comes to seeds like oregano, the reason why they're so hard is just because they're so small. I mean, they're microscopic. And so when it comes to difficulty, you'll find it kind of varies. But I personally think the really small seeds are super tricky, but they're still fun. I love all different types of seed because for me, it's also just really interesting. You're out here and you're saving seeds from 10, 12 different varieties, and you'll find that no seed is the same. So one of the final things I wanted to talk about was one of the benefits that not enough people talk about with saving seeds, and that is adding to the gene pool. So this is something that obviously not a lot of people talk about because it's a little more in depth with seed saving, but I think it's very important that every gardener, whether you're a first-time gardener or the most veteran gardener in the world, you should be saving seeds. Not for the sake of saving money, that's a benefit. Not for the sake of having seed to give out to friends, that's a benefit. The benefit and the thing that is our duty is to save the gene pool. This is something that as gardeners, I think we have let down our guard so much because in generations past, you couldn't just go to the seed store. Seeds were really expensive. You couldn't just go to the seed store and just buy them every year. That was frivolous. So what families would do is they would grow their seeds, they'd save their seeds, they'd grow them out year after year after year. And what they would do and what they'd find is they would add to the gene pool because new varieties would pop up. They'd have family varieties that were passed on from generation to generation. And they would have varieties that their neighbor might have lost a variety, and their variety, though very similar, was different enough that it was not killed by a pest, it was not killed by a disease, it was not killed by some reason, and that was kept in the gene pool because it was more resilient, it was more favorable for that gardener. And as gardeners, we've really lost touch with that. We've lost touch with the fact that when we increase biodiversity, we are actually helping our fellow gardeners because though saving this Greek oregano might seem like a very nominal thing to do, I'm just saving Greek oregano because I want to save money or because I want to give the seeds to my friends and family. No, think about it this way. When you grow this Greek oregano from the seeds then become more climatized. Year after year, they become more hardy to your zone, how cold the winters are, the acidity of your soil, the different pests in your regions, the rainfall, how much rain you get, how humid it is. It becomes climatized to this specific region, and it becomes hardier and more resilient, and it becomes more robust. This means that its survival rate is higher as well. And this happens over generation after generation after generation of saving seeds. It doesn't happen in one generation. The second thing is it becomes, it can be crossed. It becomes a different variety. So I don't know what this Greek oregano was crossed with. We have a lot of different oregano on the property. We have a Italian oregano, we have a spicy oregano, we have a golden oregano, and we have a variegated oregano. We also have the Greek oregano. And so when you have that many different varieties, they're all within the same variety. And we also have honeybees on our property. Those honeybees, they don't know necessarily that they're doing a cross-pollination. They're just pollinating same varieties. Tomatoes, all different tomatoes can be pollinated. When it comes to basil, all the different basils can be cross-pollinated. And so when we save seeds from our basil and our kale and our arugula and our oregano, our thyme, sage, we save seeds from all of our different crops, even our sunflowers. Those have all been cross-pollinated with the different varieties we're growing and other varieties around the area. And the offspring that come from those varieties might have a trait that is beneficial. They might have a trait that is more disease resistant, more favorable for whatever reason. And that is our duty to the gardening community, to have that, to offer that, and to say, hey, this is different, this is unique, this is one of a kind. Let's increase this number, get them out there, and see if we can help somebody out with the genetics and the traits that we've created, because this is biology right here. This is not just a hobby, this is biology. And it's so important because if something happens, we talk about this all the time, if something happens and there's a worldwide failure of a certain variety, take the banana plant, for instance. When the Panama disease took out the banana and people panicked, they said, what are we going to do? All the bananas are the same variety. You had a shortage, you had a crisis, and they had to go back to the drawing board. They had to pull genetics from these few select varieties. They had to create their own different variety that was not susceptible to Panama disease, but that was not without its stress, that was not without its crisis. And these crises can be averted by just promoting biodiversity and having a more robust gene pool out there. If all you have are Italian greyhounds, and you have only one variety of Italian greyhound, Italian greyhounds are very prone to broken bones because they're a purebred. They're bred, but they're very weak. They're very prone to sickness and illness and disease and broken bones. But it's a purebred. They've been breeding this variety, and nothing has come into the gene pool. Nothing whatsoever has come into the gene pool. You cross a Italian greyhound with like a Shih Tzu, right? You have never mind. Anyways, you have a hound zoo. Anyways, so I was gonna say something else, but so when you do that, you have a more robust gene pool because you have a hybrid. Yes, it would be considered a mutt, but crossing those genes is so vital because it creates something that's going to be favorable to future generations. And so when I save this Greek oregano, yes, I'm saving seeds, but I'm potentially increasing the gene pool later on. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. Remember, check out our other seed saving videos. If you're interested in saving seeds, I would encourage it. And hopefully I've driven the point home that yes, it's important. Yes, you should be doing it. And it's something that we all should be doing as a gardening community. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. We'll catch you all on tomorrow's episode. Grow big or go home. Bye.